Well, we got another Velotric e-bike to review. This one is the Nomad 1 Plus. So this is a slightly upgraded version of the Nomad 1, which they have the UL certification for the battery, 26 by 4 inch fat tires, you got fenders, tail light and headlight, and overall just a really cool looking bike. I love the colors that they have available. Now they got a couple different colors in stock for this bike, depending on if you go with the high step, which is this version, or they have a low step. With the high step, they have the indigo gray, which is a gray color of course, and then this one is called Forest, which is like a bluish green. And I really like the color scheme, the simplicity, the overall look of this bike. And they do have a step through, and that one comes in indigo gray, forest like this color, cyan, which is like a greenish blue, more of a teal color, and they have mango. Right now they have it listed at $12.49, but they're having a whole bunch of Black Friday sales right now for all of their models. So if you're not interested in the Nomad 1 Plus, you can check out some of their other models. They have a lot of great Black Friday deals, so now's the time to jump on and buy an e-bike. I'll leave a link in the description to the blog I wrote for all the e-bike Black Friday deals with some of the best companies that I've ever worked with and the ones that I trust. So check them out. Now the Velotric Nomad 1 Plus has a 14.4 amp hour battery, which is hidden in the frame right here with the painted outer shell, which is something I really always like to see with Velotric bikes. Most of them have this painted outside shell. It kind of just embeds itself into the frame, so you really don't look at this and see an electric bike. It does have front suspension, has a lockout and preload, but no micro adjustments on that. It does have a Altus derailleur, which is a step up from your standard tourney, which these work a little bit better, shift a little bit better, and you'll have a little bit less of a problem with them. I like this. The only problem, I wish they would put derailleur guards. I know it kind of takes away from the look of the bike, but it does really protect the bike when you're riding it around or storage or just shipping in general. Sometimes these get messed up and we want to try to prevent that. And to prevent that, you can put a derailleur guard on there if you need to. They just bolt right here and come out. It's just a little metal piece that covers this. So something you can look at. They have them on Amazon pretty cheap, less than 10 bucks usually. And they got pretty nice CST, BFT 26 by 4 inch tires, which these are a little bit of a step up from some of your other tires that they put on bikes. Chaoyang is another brand of bike tires, and CST, BFT are actually a little bit better than those. Now I like the plastic fenders. The only thing is you don't get a rear rack with this bike. You have to purchase that separately, and I believe they also have front baskets available for purchase as well. Here's the rear tail light, and that does function when you have the bike turned on. So we're going to turn the bike on. We're going to turn the headlight on by pushing and holding the plus button. And here's your headlight up here, which you can adjust to point down. It's up here on the handlebar. And then in the back you have your tail light, which also has a brake function. So there you go. Brightens up when you hit the brakes. I really like the styling of the bike. I like the paint color. They didn't steer too much away from the original Nomad 1 paint scheme. It's got the cool little graphics of the V right here for Velotric, and it's got some stuff down here. Just kind of gives it a nice look. Makes it look a little bit different than if it was just forest color. And it says Nomad right here. And you can see here, they had the UL certification for the battery. So all the Velotric bikes are UL certified, which is great to see. Very nice to know that you don't have to worry about your battery in any circumstance. Now on the front and back, we do have 180 millimeter rotors on the front and back with some hydraulic brakes. Very nice setup there. I haven't tested it yet, but we're going to go for a ride today together. Now we do have an adjustable stem, so if you are a taller rider, you can lift this stem all the way up. I have mine in the most upper position so that the handlebars are up higher for me, but you can also set those down low if you're a shorter rider. Now they have really nice grips on their bike, every model, and I have 3, now 4 in my shop. They're always really nice locking grips, comfortable, ergonomic. I really like that they pay attention to the fine details on their bikes. Got a thumb throttle over here, and you have your menu selector right here where you can go up and down in your pedal assist levels, as well as activating your headlight with the little headlight icon down here. And the screen dims if you have your headlight and tail light on, so nice to see. So this screen has all the details you would ever want on an e-bike. So you got your speed, you got your odometer and trip, and you got your pedal assist levels. Now if you hit the power button over here and you go through the menu, it'll tell you your odometer, your average speed, your max speed, your overall time the bike's been powered on, how many calories you burned, a watt meter, tells you how much power you're using, and then a voltage gauge. And then you also have a battery gauge here, which will tell you how full or empty your battery is while you're out on a ride. Over here you got your trigger shifters, which are really nice. Upgrade from your normal SIS index. These usually are paired with the Altus derailleur. They work really good. You just push these forward to go down a gear, and you pull on the other side. There's another trigger over here that you go up a gear with. And then you got your hydraulic brake levers right here. Very nice to see. And then here's your headlight, and it's up in the higher position. No matter where you turn your handlebars, you're gonna have a headlight, which is kind of nice. Does have a place here for a water bottle or a lock if you need to lock up your bike, or if you want to have a drink while you're out. Pretty standard seat, quite a bit of cushion. We'll see how that works today. See if it's comfortable. And plastic fenders, which is my preference, to be honest. Less noise when you're out riding if you get rocks stuck up in there. And then it's got mounting positions here for a front basket, which you can purchase on their website if you're interested. And then they do have front suspension, and it is a hardtail. The front suspension offers a lockout and a preload, but no fine tuning adjustments for that. So it's a pretty standard shock, but it's there. It's going to do the job. It's going to be better than not having one at all. So the Velotric High Step, which is the one I have, accommodates riders from 5'6" to 6'9", so wide range of height there. And then your step through is going to handle those shorter riders at 5'1" to 6'4". I personally like the low step bikes. They're just easier to mount, but I wanted the high step to test. Most men like the high step bikes. I personally like the way they look better, but the low steps are very nice for being able to get on and off the bike. So if you have mobility issues, or you're a little bit older and can't lift your legs up as high, the step through frame is really going to help you with that. But if you're a taller rider, in shape, a little bit more fit, then the high step might be for you. But we're going to go ahead and take this out for a ride today, test it out. Let's go ahead and hit the road. All right, so we're going to start testing the pedal assist levels, and as you can see in pedal assist 1, we're hitting a top speed of 13 to 14 miles per hour. We're going to go to pedal assist 2 here. Now this does have a cadence sensor, so as long as you're turning the crank, the speed will adjust accordingly. And you can also use your throttle, of course, but we're going to do the pedal assist here. And let's see if the throttle overrides it. It does not. So no matter if you pedal or you use the throttle, you're going to get the same speed. Pedal assist 2, we're right at 15 to 16 miles per hour. Pedal assist 3. We're at 20 miles per hour. We're getting a top speed of 24 on pedal assist 4. And then pedal assist 5 is where we should get our max speed. We are hitting 28, 29. So we are hitting 29 miles per hour with pedal assist 5. So 1 mile over the speed that they say. So now what we're going to do is turn around. We're going to hit the hill climbing road. And for this test, we're going to just use the throttle. See how powerful this motor is. It is a 750 watt nominal with 75 newton meters of torque. So it should be able to get up an 8% grade, maybe a 10, but we'll be able to tell here in a few minutes. Now, one thing I really like about Velotric bikes is they're almost all really good at pedaling. So when you're up in these higher speeds, you get resistance, which gives you a little bit more exercise instead of just constantly pedaling and not feeling anything. It's just like what they call ghost pedaling. And ghost pedaling means you're just basically pedaling and not getting any resistance at all, but you're using the cadence sensor to gain speed. So you can still get exercise like that, just not as good. Now these 26 by 4 inch fat tires are definitely going to help with absorbing the bumps. So not having rear suspension in the back is not a bad thing, because the fat tires help absorb some of those. I also like the fat tires because it does make the bike feel a lot more stable. So the 26 by 4 are excellent for just overall comfort. So yeah, this bike's very nice. I like the monochrome display. Really easy to see in this bright daylight. It's sun's at high noon right now, a little after 12, and we can see it clearly. So day or night, this screen is excellent. I really like the monochrome displays for that reason, as you don't have to worry about not being able to see your screen. Some of these color displays, they're a little bit weak, and it's just really hard to see your speed and your mileage and your battery percentage and all that. The monochrome display is really nice to have. Now this is not a powerhouse of a bike. You're not going to go super fast, but it's overall an excellent bike, especially if this is your first e-bike. I think it's a great beginner e-bike. It's their first model with some upgrades. So the Nomad 1 is a very popular bike, so they decided to keep it around and just upgrade a few of the components. You got hydraulic brakes, which is great for stopping. Nice ergonomic grips, a little bit different than what was on the base model. And there are rumors that the Nomad 2 is going to be coming out next year. We'll see what happens. But the Nomad 1 Plus is definitely a bike that contends with the rest of the models. Now 75 Newton meters of torque is not a whole lot, so I don't expect to get incredible hill climbing capabilities out of this, especially with these fat tires. The fat tires will slow you down a little bit on the hills, especially these big ones. I would recommend swapping out this seat. It's a pretty standard seat, doesn't have a whole lot of cushion. I would recommend also getting a suspension seat post if you're tall enough. The suspension seat post does raise the seat height about 3 to 4 inches, depending on what brand you go with, but they make the ride incredible for hardtail e-bikes, so check those out. On all my main bikes, I put a suspension seat post on just to add that little bit of extra comfort. My favorite one is a Redshift shock stop. It's the most expensive one, but it offers the best ride quality. But here we are on the 6% grade. Once we get up here by the school bus sign, we're gonna see what this thing can do. And it's not doing very well. It's at the 6%. We're at 12 miles per hour. Right up here where it says road work ahead, that is the 8% grade. Right past the subdivision. And are we even going to be able to make it up this? Oh, it says utility work ahead. Shows you how good my eyesight is. But here we are, throttle only, barely making it up at 7 miles per hour. And that right there tells me that I need to turn around. So not a great hill climbing bike. But it did it without pedaling at all, so not bad. Yeah, but if you are looking at e-bikes, Velotric's on your mind, and Velotric is on your list. They got an incredible Black Friday sale right now. I believe their sale is lasting through the end of Cyber Monday. So if there's a model you've been looking at, then definitely look at their sale ad. I have all their bikes that are on sale on my website, so go check that out if you're interested in checking them. Now the claim range is about 50 miles with pedal assist. That's a lower pedal assist level on flat terrain with a lighter rider than I am. I weigh 240 pounds, 6'2". So if you're shorter and lighter than I am, you may have better luck with overall speed, distance, and hill climbing capabilities. And here's what I think they should upgrade with the Nomad 1 Plus when they make the Nomad 2. I decided to pull out my Discover 2 and put them side by side so we could kind of look at the differences between the two. And the Discover 1 was a lot like the Nomad 1 Plus. So I think it's a good, fair comparison to see what they should upgrade for the Nomad 2. One of the big standout features to me is this battery and the way it latches and how you charge it. It's such a smooth experience compared to the Nomad 1 Plus. With the Nomad 1 Plus, you have to really push down on this battery to get it to click in place. But with the Discover 2, you just basically drop it in there and push on it like lightly and it clicks in place. Just seems a little bit more robust, made a little bit better, and to me, I think it stands out as a really nice feature that people don't really mention very often. Now another big thing that I really like about the Discover 2 is its colored screen. Now this display is a landscape orientation and it is integrated with Apple Find My and Apple Health. And it has a whole bunch of features and you can do all kinds of different things with the Discover 2. And I hope they take some of these features and move it over to the Nomad 2. I think they should consider including this in the Nomad 2 for sure. I just love the screen. It's really easy to see no matter what time of the day you're riding. And it has a bunch of features like integrated turn signal lights. The other thing I would really like to see on the Nomad 2 would be the turn signals. So on the back of the Discover 2 you have rear turn signals. I would love to see them integrate the turn signal up to the front on the Nomad 2. I think that would be a really nice feature. Maybe integrating it into the handlebars somehow at the end. But there are plenty of options to include a front turn signal. I also think that having a front turn signal is a really needed safety feature to all bikes. So I would really like to see them integrate that into the Nomad 2 when they produce it. Now the Discover 2 also comes with a rear rack. The Nomad 1 Plus does not. You have to order that separately. So I would love to see the Nomad 2 come with a rear rack, especially if it has this MIC HD system. Because if somebody already owns a Discover 2 and they want to buy the Nomad 2, let's say they have a Discover 2 for their wife, but they want the Nomad 2, I think it would be really cool to have a rear rack on both of them. They can use the same system. So if they have a basket on here and they want to swap it over and put it over there, or if they have a kid seat back here and they want to swap it out depending on, you know, what they're doing that day, it would be cool to have the same option on both bikes. Now the Discover 2 also has metal fenders. So I would like to see metal fenders on the new one, maybe even painted to match the color scheme of the bike. I think that would be cool. And I would really like to see a option for a suspension seat post come with the bike, included when you buy the bike. Adding a suspension seat post improves the overall riding quality on any hardtail e-bike. So if they included that on the Nomad 2, I think that would be awesome. Now the front suspension on the Discover 2 seems to perform a little bit better, maybe even improving this a step further and offering a air suspension on the front for the Nomad 2. I think that would be really cool. Now with the Discover 2 and the Summit 1, which I have hanging up back over there on the wall, they both have the ability to switch from a torque or a cadence sensor within the app. I love that feature. I think it's excellent. But one thing I would like to see on the Nomad 2 is for us to be able to swap from cadence to torque within the screen. So you don't have to pull out your phone to make that change. You can do it on the fly. I think that would be really cool. They should be able to implement that in the next version of the Nomad too. I don't see why not, and that gives them a building block for the next version of the Discover. So hopefully with the Nomad 2, when that gets released, and I have no idea when they're going to be releasing that bike. I just know that I've heard rumors of them coming out with a new version of the Nomad one day. And I would love to see features that the Discover 2 has on the Nomad 2. And that's why I have them side by side. But this has been a video all about the Nomad 1 Plus. I really enjoyed my experience with the bike. I think it's definitely a quality machine. The overall design looks really cool. I have a future video coming out with the Velotric accessories, and I'm going to be putting those on the Discover 2, and I have a couple other special treats for you on that video, so that'll be coming soon. And if you haven't already, I would really be thankful if you go down there and hit that subscribe button. If you hit the bell, you'll be notified when I upload, and that really allows me to continue to make videos just like this. I really appreciate it if you go down there and smash that like button as well. That improves the algorithm on YouTube so people see my video just like you did. And if you would leave a comment down below, I would love to know what your favorite Velotric e-bike is. I have 4 of them in my garage, and I love everyone for different reasons. But this has been a review of the Nomad 1 Plus. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving and an enjoyable holiday. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.